Hi everybody, welcome back to Vlogmas. I am Cass Bowers and this is Cass Chats. Today is December 23rd and it's my daughter's 30th birthday. I can't believe it's been 30 years. So today is all about her. I'm going to provide you a little story time. We have a surprise for her, don't tell her. I might just post this after the surprise. So yeah, there's a little surprise for her. Hopefully she loves it. Anyway, today's story time. I clearly remember my pregnancy with Chandra. Chandra's her name. She's actually named after me. Her name is Cassandra, but she goes by Chandra, and she's actually going to change her name to Chandra. I don't know how I feel about that, but you know, she's Chandra, you know, we call her what we call her. So, you know, she has her own, she's always been her own person, has her own personality, but excuse me, let me go back to the day that she was born. But even before that, during my pregnancy, I had a sort of a okay pregnancy. There was nothing devastatingly difficult about it or anything like that. I did gain a whole lot of weight. I gained so much weight. It was upon conception I gained a lot of weight. And I did end up having, what is that called? When pregnant women have diabetes. I did end up having that at the end. And that's why she came early. She was due on January 17th on my dad's birthday, but she came December 23rd. So she was early. She's an early baby. But when she was in my belly, I didn't have an ultrasound. I had an ultrasound, you know, to see if she was okay and all of that, but I never had one to determine gender. But from day one, I knew she was a girl. I don't know how I knew. I don't know if it was mother intuition. I don't know if I would have been wrong. She would have been a boy, but I knew. I did not pick out any boy names. I knew exactly what I was going to name her. Everybody wanted me to name her after her dad, and I was like, absolutely not. People always name babies after the dad, and this little baby is going to be named after me. And I wanted her to look like me so bad so we could have little mother-daughter outfits on.
She didn't give me a cake, y'all.
But we wanted to have mother-daughter outfits on. She's trying to interrupt my surprise. I did get her a cake, but she doesn't know it. I wanted us to have like mother-daughter outfits on and wear these cute little outfits, but this child is a child of her own. She does what she wants to do. Anyway, so she came early. She came extremely early. I knew she was a little girl. I named her after me. And she's a beautiful, beautiful baby. She had these big, pretty eyes with these gorgeous long eyelashes. Just a beautiful child. I had her. Right away, they took her away. They did all these blood tests and found out that she had a blood disorder. She had a blood disorder, and she was actually allergic to my blood, even though her and I have the same blood type, but for some reason my blood wasn't good enough for her. That's the joke that we make now. And her blood and my blood did not mix together. And she had it was a serious issue. She was very sick. The doctors didn't think that she was going to make it. And they told me that we can give her a blood transfusion and remove the majority of her blood and then put in new blood. It's like this, I don't know what the technical term of it was. I was 21 when I had her. I was young, I was devastated, and my little baby was sick, and I was traumatized. I'm still traumatized by that. And so basically there's a technical term for taking out the majority of a person's blood and then putting in new blood through a transfusion right away. So you're kind of recycling and giving them new blood. And they were gonna have to do that to my newborn little baby. And I was devastated. I was crying my eyes out. And I prayed and prayed. My dad is a pastor. The whole church prayed. All of my family members prayed. We prayed and we prayed and until we couldn't pray anymore. I cried. I cried out to God and I was like, Lord, save my baby. Like, this is my baby. And a miracle happened. They went back. Like, they do a continuous blood test. They want to see where things are going. Miraculously, it went away. And to this day, like, I just got goosebumps again. To this day, the only thing I can say is that that was a miracle and that she's here as a miracle baby. And she's brought so much joy to so many people. She was in the hospital on Christmas Day. If you go back to a couple of videos ago, you'll see that I said that my best Christmas present ever was her, because on Christmas, it was the worst Christmas of my life, in that on Christmas I was sitting at home crying my eyes out because my baby was in the hospital. It was probably the worst feeling any mother can feel, to leave their baby in the hospital. And I just cried and cried and cried. I would cry, sleep for 10 minutes, wake up and call the nurse, and the nurse got annoyed with me, but I didn't care. So she was born. She ended up having a blood disease disorder, and miraculously went away. It's like that conversation never happened. And then there were some issues. She came home a few days later after Christmas. We all celebrated. We waited and didn't celebrate Christmas until she was home with us to celebrate. She was so tiny. My mom had bought her this pretty Christmas dress, but she was so tiny she couldn't fit it, so she had to wear like a Christmas jumpsuit, but that was okay. We were just happy to be home with her. My son, who's 4 years older than she is, loved her from day one. He always said he wanted a little sister, and he would kiss her and hold her. He just loved his little sister so much, and it was a great time. And then, you know, she gets into a couple of months older, and then she forgets how to breathe. Like, randomly, she'll just forget how to breathe. And I'll never forget, like, she just stopped breathing. Never forget, we were at my aunt's house, and she's holding her, and she's like, she's not breathing. So my aunt has been in the medical field before, and she did a certain little move, and she took a breath, and she came back. And so she would do that all the time. And so my aunt kind of showed me how to do it. And, you know, I don't recommend that. Take your child to the doctor and let them put tubes on them or monitor them, but don't just do what your aunt tells you to do. So, you know, disclaimer, don't do that. Take her to a medical professional. But for my daughter, it worked. And so from that moment on, she was fine. I spoiled her. I spoiled her so much. She slept with me. She went everywhere with me. She was a mama's girl until forever, because she still is. And she's been my best friend ever since. And so she brought so much joy into all of our lives. She has more attitude and more drive and more confidence than I had at her age at 30 or at all the other ages previously. She is just really an awesome person. And if we go back again to a previous video, on her birthday, about 10 or 11 years ago, our house burned down to the ground. So there's a lot of things have happened to her in her life, but we're here. She's overcome all the obstacles that are put in her way. She has had 3 brain surgery operations. One of them, she was pregnant. The first brain surgery operation she was pregnant with Cam, and she had Cam, and that's our other little miracle baby, and he came out fine. And then she's had twins, and she has a brain condition where she has a shunt in her brain, and it regulates the brain pressure. And pregnancies are difficult. She's has high risk pregnancies, and she had a miscarriage, and then she got pregnant with the twins, and then she had twins. She carried twins full term with a medical condition. What? Who does that? She does. You know, that's what she does. She just, you know, it's just like the superwoman. She has superpowers that we don't know about. And she has these beautiful baby boys, and we've seen them. We've seen all 3 of them. And she is just really an awesome person. She will tell me to my face when I'm wrong, and she will tell anyone around me, you're not going to do that to my mother or my grandmother or my grandpa. She's not scared of anyone or anything. She's going to speak up for herself, and she's going to speak up for her family, and that is why we love her so much. So, happy birthday to my daughter. It's been a wonderful, painful, joyous, heartbreaking, awesome 30 years. I'm so proud to be your mother. I'm so happy that you decided to, you know, take me on this journey with you for these last 30 years. And maybe one day she'll admit that we're best friends. That's the goal, right? That's what I want. I want her to admit it one day. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me for the story time. Say happy birthday to my baby who's 30. She's my youngest, and she's 30. I think I might be old. Does that mean I'm old? Anyway, thank you so much for joining me on this journey. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you tomorrow on Christmas Eve. Bye.